Are you trying to grow your business, but it feels as if you're standing at the edge of a cliff, screaming into a void, just trying to help people with what you have to offer, but nobody's coming to you? But it took me years and thousands of dollars to fully understand this one concept. And once you learn it and implement it, your business will never be the same. The number one mistake that I was making, and I see people making all day, every day, is they're just not clear enough on who they serve. If you try to serve everybody, you serve no one. My goal with this video is to help you gain so much clarity on who you serve. You can speak directly to that person who's been waiting their entire life for you to help them. I want you to walk away from this video with a framework that's so clear and so simple that you can take it and implement it today. When you implement the stuff that I'm going to teach you today, it's going to feel like you're playing this game of business on easy mode. What is written is retained, so I encourage you, please grab a pen and paper or an iPad or whatever you need to be able to take some notes, because what is written is retained. And the stuff that I am going to teach you today will fundamentally change the way that you do business for the rest of your life. My promise to you is that by the end of this video, you will have so much clarity on who it is you serve that it will no longer feel as if you're screaming into a void or chasing people. It will feel as if they are coming to you. You are attracting them like a magnet. So please grab a pen and paper, an iPad, whatever you need. Take some notes, because what is written is retained. What does a light bulb, don't make fun of my drawings. What does a light bulb and a laser pointer have in common? That's my laser pointer. But what does a light bulb and a laser pointer have in common? They both emit light. A light bulb simply just lights the room, whereas the laser pointer can literally cut through steel. Why is that? It's because the light right here is concentrated. I should probably make sure I spelled that right. If I spelled it wrong, I am not a school teacher. I'm a business coach, which I should know how to spell, but my grandma's rolling around in heaven right now. My grandma was an English teacher. She'd be rolling around in heaven if she knew that I was wondering if I spelled concentrated right. But anyway, the point being, your message is the light. And right now, the problem is your message is more like this light bulb, in the sense you might light up the room. You might try to talk to anyone and everyone. You might try to spread your message and let anybody know that you can help them. Well, the problem with that is if you do not figure out how to concentrate your message into a singular beam, you will not be able to cut through the noise. Because the reality is, as human beings, we are programmed to block out anything that's not immediately affecting us. It's called the cocktail party effect. If you're at a cocktail party and it's super noisy, there's so much going on, there's music, there's dancing, there's people talking, and all of a sudden you hear somebody say your voice, you snap out of it and you hear your voice. Why? Why is that? Your brain physically cannot process everything that's happening at one time. So it blocks out everything else that's not relevant. Tony Robbins uses this example a lot. Don't cheat, but look around the room, find anything that's brown. Take 10 seconds. Look around, anything that's brown. Okay, we'll just stop it there. Now tell me anything you saw that was blue. There's no way you found anything that was blue, because that's not where your focus was. And on top of that, you probably found some things that were beige just so you could try to fit in. But the point being is that your brain, your subconscious, literally blocks out anything that you're not focusing on. And so the same goes with your customer and your message. If you cannot speak so clearly, if you cannot call out your customer's name, then they're not going to be able to hear you. They won't even know that you're trying to talk to them. In today's day and age, our attention span is absolutely shot, and your customer is constantly bombarded by social media, ads, you name it. Their focus is constantly elsewhere. So if you can't find a way to speak so clearly, to cut through the noise, to be able to speak directly to them, they're not going to hear you. And it's not their fault either. They're not trying to ignore you. They actually could probably really use what you have. And that's what's so unfortunate is you could be extremely good at what you do, but if you just don't figure out a way to cut through that noise, to concentrate your message and cut through that noise, then nobody's going to be able to hear you. I think they came out with a study recently that basically said that the attention span today is now under, I think the median adult attention span today, as of 2026, is under 5 seconds, which is absurd. Honestly, I feel like for me, it's under 1 second. I've got a big attention problem, which is exactly why your message needs to be so concentrated that you can break through, you can shoot through, cut through all the noise, anything that's going on in your customer's head, and they will hear you. They will hear you so clearly. They will hear you so clear. They will think that you have been sent from the heavens to solve their problem because it feels as if you called their name in a crowded room. Even a whisper concentrated to the right person is louder than a scream for everybody else. I'm gonna expose myself with this story, but I think it'll be very beneficial in helping you to grasp the concept. So the first business that I ever started was an air duct cleaning business. Now, the name of my business was Breeze Cleaning Services. And you can imagine with a name like that we got so many phone calls that had nothing to do with air duct cleaning. Absolutely nothing. I cannot tell you the amount of time, money, and energy wasted on answering all of these phone calls that were about maid cleaning services or kitchen cleaning or whatever it was. It was basically anything cleaning related because the name was literally Breeze Cleaning Services. And I mean, it drove me so insane that I legally changed the name to Breeze Air Duct Cleaning. And guess what happened after I did that? Not a single phone call about anything other than air duct cleaning. I know, clap it up, clap it up. The crazy part is I didn't even realize it at the time, but it was probably one of the single greatest things I ever did for the business because not only was all the time, energy, and money not being wasted on answering phone calls or going out to jobs that had nothing to do with what we offered, but it also immediately spoke directly to the person. If they wanted their air ducts cleaned or they thought about their vents, the first thing they type in is going to be air duct cleaning. And guess what came up the second they typed it in? Breeze Air Duct Cleaning. Guess who they called? Breeze Air Duct Cleaning. Guess who made so much money just because they wanted to be so stinking clear and not have any confusion that they literally put the service name in the title of the company, Breeze Air Duct Cleaning. Now, the reason I share that story with you is for you to think of yourself, are you being like Breeze Cleaning Services in the sense that people don't really understand what it is you do? You can't pinpoint a specific person with a specific problem of who you help. You're more of like a generalist. When people think of you, you don't have the title of what you do in your name. And in no means am I saying that you should promote your business with the title of what you do. It's a good idea. What I'm trying to illustrate to you is that a lot of the times people are so vague that when people inquire with you or encounter with you, they have no idea what it is that you do or who you help. You could have somebody that comes up to you that desperately needs your services, but they don't even mentally register that you can help them because you haven't done a good enough job at cutting through that noise to be able to speak directly to that person. The good news is, just like the story of my air duct cleaning business, it is a very, very, very simple fix and you can do it in a day. And that's my goal today, is to help you to be able to recognize and identify exactly who it is that you're trying to speak to, that you can cut through all the noise and you stop wasting your time with people who aren't meant for you in the first place. That way you have the energy and attention to actually help the people who need you. I want you to imagine that there's two doctors, Dr. A and Dr. B. Dr. A is going to be just a general surgeon, and Dr. B is going to be a cardiologist. Now, before I ask you this question, I'm going to give you some background. Dr. A, surgeon, he's been a surgeon for 20 plus years. He has gotten awards. He's the top rated general surgeon in the area. Dr. B, or our cardiologist, has only been working for 5 months. They're only 5 months out of their residency. Now, you have a heart attack, or someone you love has a heart attack. Who are you going to go to? Option B, the cardiologist? But why? Option A, I mean, he's the top-rated general surgeon. He's been a surgeon for 20 years. He's got a whole bunch of awards. I mean, here, let me put it even a little bit further. Let's say Dr. A only charges $5,000 for the heart surgery, but Dr. B charges $50,000. Which doctor are you choosing? Still Dr. B. Why? Because people will pick a specialist over a generalist 7 days a week and twice on Sunday if that specialist can perfectly describe what they're going through and help them to their solution. Your client is not looking for the most talented, the most decorated, the most awarded solution. They are looking for the person who can perfectly describe what they're going through, who can cut through the noise and speak directly to them so that they can identify, yes, this is for me. Specificity does not just signal expertise, it signals safety. So how can you gain that specificity? How can you create that safety for them? You're going to follow this 3-step framework. You are going to identify, immerse, and intend. Starting with identify, you need to identify down to a single human being, not a group of people, not a demographic, a single human being. Give that human being a name, a specific person with a specific pain, with a specific desire, and a specific reason as to why they have not solved that problem yet. The reason that you want to focus it down so clear is because the brain cannot build what it can't picture. And when you're vague about it, you create vague results. When you're able to see exactly who it is you serve down to a person, every piece of content, every offer, your language, your price, everything that you create snaps into alignment and you speak to that one person. When you do this properly, you will be able to describe your client's internal world better than they can describe it themselves. They won't feel sold to when you talk to them. They will feel like you finally found them. Stop trying to be discovered by everyone and start being undeniable to someone. Number 2 is immerse. You want to immerse yourself so completely into your client's world that when you start talking, they literally think to themselves, did this guy break into my house and read my diary? Yes. No, I'm just kidding. Learn their language, learn their attitude, learn their mannerisms, learn everything that you need to know about them. One of my favorite quotes by Dan Kennedy, it says, discover what keeps them awake at night, afraid to go to sleep, but even more afraid to wake up the next day. That sounds super dark, but it's true. When you understand to the core the very thing, the very language, the attitudes, the feelings that they're having that keep them awake at night, those sleepless nights, whatever they're going through, when you can understand that and you immerse yourself so fully in that, dude, you're going to be playing another game. It is proven neuroscience that trust is not built on logic. It is built on the feelings of being understood. There's a reason that it's always preached that you need to get people to know, like, and trust you. When people know, like, and trust you, it's because you have made them feel understood. They feel heard by you. When a person can hear their own internal experience described back to them, it literally releases oxytocin in their brain. It's the same bonding hormone between a mother and her child. Now, I'm not saying you should treat your client like you're the mom and they're the child, but that same bonding hormone, that oxytocin, is released when they feel understood by you. You cannot manufacture trust, but you can trigger it by proving that you understand them. The coach who understands and can verbalize their client's pain better than they can themselves will never, ever, ever have to compete. In fact, when they're so good at it, people will beg them for help. Look at the best people that you know in the industry. People are literally begging to pay them. Like, how is that even possible? It melts your brain to think, how are these people lining up to pay thousands and thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars to these people? It's because they have made them feel such a deep level of understanding and trust that psychologically they believe that that person is the only one that can solve their problem because they feel understood by them. That is your goal. That is where you want to be. Because if you can find yourself in that room, in that place, in your customer's subconscious, inherently they will believe that you are the only solution to solve their problem. When you fully immerse yourself and you are able to build that trust to make them feel understood, that is the moment your message stops being noise and it starts being a magnet. And lastly is intend. Every piece of content, every conversation, every offer, everything you do and create needs to be built around one single intention for that specific person. Intention is energy, and energy is felt long before it's understood. When your message carries a singular focused intention, your audience feels it before they can even name it. It's got a different weight to it, a different pull than everything else. Your message that's created for everybody just feels like noise, but a message that's created for one person, that feels like a message. Focused intention precedes transformation. Before you create anything, whether that's content, whether that's speech, a talk, whether it's an offer, whatever it may be, ask yourself one single question. Is this for my person? Because if the answer is no, then it probably won't stick with them anyway, so you should probably ditch it. And I'm not saying that every single thing you do, every piece of content you make, every conversation you have needs to be centered around this one specific thing. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is if you want to make sure that you can cut through that noise and talk to that one specific person and attract that ideal client that you have to be able to do this, I would say 95% of the time, or else they just simply won't hear you. So remember, before you create anything, ask yourself that one question: is this for my person? And if the answer is no, then probably throw it out. I know what you might be thinking right now, because when I first started, it's exactly what I was thinking. It's that little voice in your head that says, but what if I get too specific? I won't make any money because I'm missing out on all these opportunities. I want you to hear me on this because it has cost me so much money. That fear is not protecting you. That idea that by getting more narrow, you're gonna lose out on money and opportunity, that fear is not only costing you so much money, but it's also robbing the people who you were placed here to serve of hearing you and being served by you, because you're so focused on serving everybody else. Psychologist Barry Schwartz demonstrated that the more options people are given, the less likely they are to choose from any of them. When you try to be everything to everyone, you're not giving them more reasons to choose you, you're giving them more reasons to not choose you because you're just confusing them. Up to now, you think that not narrowing down is going to help you to serve more people and make more money, but that is exactly why you don't make any sales. Right now, somewhere, your client is looking for you. That person that you feel like you were placed here to serve is calling for you. They are looking for you. They are walking through the dark, looking for your light to be able to help them out, but they cannot find you because your message has not become clear enough, concentrated enough to be able to cut through the noise and speak directly to them. Every day that you make the selfish decision to stay vague and not narrow down, they stay lost. And I know it kind of hurts to put it in that perspective because you just want to help people, you just want to serve people. But the reality is you are being selfish in thinking that you can help everybody. Because by thinking that you can help everybody and trying to speak to everybody, you are speaking to no one, and that person that actually needs you is still lost. Remember, specificity is not exclusion. Specificity is the most generous thing you will ever do for the person who needs you. Your job today, as soon as this video is over, don't wait another second, do it as soon as this video is over. You are going to identify who you serve down to the specific person, a real human being with a specific pain, a specific desire, and a specific reason as to why they haven't solved it yet. Then you are going to immerse yourself in their world and become obsessed with learning everything about them. How do they walk? How do they talk? What do they feel? What keeps them awake at night, afraid to go to sleep, and even more afraid to wake up the next day? And then lastly, you need to intend to build every piece of content, every conversation, every offer around that one specific person. When your intention is clear and singular, your message becomes magnetic and your dream clients finally start finding you. And I know it looks like I've been praying a lot this whole video. I have. Remember, a light bulb and a laser use the same exact energy. The only difference between the two is just how it's concentrated. That's how using the same energy, a laser can literally cut through steel. When you're able to get so clear on who it is that you serve, you are able to speak directly to that person. You're able to cut through all the noise in their life and speak directly to that person. That person will think to themselves, finally they're here to save me, and they will happily pay you. Clarity creates conviction, And conviction creates conversion. You are not the problem. You do not have a sales problem. You do not have a content problem. You don't have a talent problem. You have a clarity problem. And now you know exactly what to do about it. This video is part 1 of 6 of the series. This 6-part series is based off of a guide that I created called The 6 Biggest Mistakes That Keep Coaches and Consultants from Six-Figure Months. If you would like a copy of that guide, I'll put the link down in the description. Just enter your email, we'll send it right over to you. I hope that this video blesses you, and I hope even more so that you take the lessons that we covered today and actually go implement them, because when you do, your business will never be the same, and that person that you feel like you've been screaming into a void trying to attract will finally be able to hear you, and they will come to you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.